Okay, today we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to prove if something is a right triangle or not. Okay, so if it's a right triangle, then it's going to make the Pythagorean theorem equal. So what we have here is we have the side lengths A, B, and C. You have all three. So if I plug in 3 for A and I square it, plus 4 for B and I square it, does it equal to this C squared? Well, 3 squared is 9, plus 4 squared is 16. So 9 plus 16 is 25. 5 squared is 25. So since 25 equals 25, this makes a right triangle. Okay, and then again, plug in 5 for A. So 5 squared plus 12 squared. Does it equal to 13 squared? Well, you can put all of this in your calculator at one time. 5 squared plus 12 squared is 169. And we want to know, does 169 equal to 13 squared? Well, 13 squared is also 169. So since they equal to each other, this makes a right triangle. Okay, and then again, here's your A. Is 7 squared plus 24 squared, does it equal to 25 squared? Well, 7 squared plus 24 squared is 625. And 25 squared is 625. So they equal. So because they equal, it's a right triangle. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're just going to use this theorem to see if it makes a right triangle. Alright, so let's look at the next page here. On this page, you're going to cross it out if it's not a right triangle. This one's a little trickier because the sides are not labeled. C is your longest side. So in this first one here, this is your C. So these will be your A and your B. So you're going to use A squared plus B squared. Does it equal to C squared? So 5 squared plus 12 squared. Does it equal to 15 squared? So we have 5 squared plus 12 squared. Oops. 5 squared plus 12 squared is 169. And does that equal to 15 squared, which is 225? They do not equal. That sign means that they do not equal. So this is not a right triangle. So just cross it out. Alright, our next example here, our C is our longest side. The other ones are A and B. So A squared plus B squared, does it equal to C squared? So we have 7 squared plus 24 squared, does it equal to 25 squared? 7 squared plus 24 squared is 625. And does 625 equal to 25 squared? Well, that's also 625, so they equal. So this is a right triangle, so I'm not going to mark through this one. This one worked. Okay, so you have to find your C, find your longest side, plug it in, and see if they balance. If it balances, it's a right triangle. If it doesn't balance, it's not a right triangle. Alright, on our next page here, we have the same thing. We're going to see if this satisfies the Pythagorean theorem. They want to know if it's a Pythagorean triple. What a Pythagorean triple is some common numbers that work every time, and you'll start to see this pattern the more that you work through this. But it's basically the same thing. So we have our A, our B, and our C. So that will be 2 squared plus these 3 squared. Does it equal to 4 squared? Well, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 plus 9 is 13. And we want to know, does it equal to 4 squared, which is 16? Those do not equal, so no, this is not a Pythagorean triple. And then we have 3, 4, and 5. So 3 squared plus 4 squared, does it equal to 5 squared? Well, 3 squared is 9, plus 4 squared is 16, which is 25, and 5 squared is 25, so they equal. So yes, it is a Pythagorean triple. It does make a right triangle. Alright, so you're just going to be using your formula today and seeing if it equals. If it equals, it's a right triangle. If it doesn't, then it is not.